Well, how did you go to school and work in the field at the same time?
Well, you don't go to school year round.
Oh, so you're talking about the summer when you went
I'm
in the
talking
field.
about my summer months.
So I bet you were glad to see school come around.
Well, we lived for school. And you were grateful we had to walk 2 miles to school and 2 miles back. We didn't have buses in my day.
Did you hear that, Rach?
I could walk to school. My school's right up the street. I've actually won it, and I've walked home from school from there.
And everybody in that community that lived around us, we all walked the same path through the woods, 2 miles to school. And I went to school, that school until I was ready for the 8th grade. Then I went to Rome High. And I had to walk more than 2 miles that way. So, but Jack Harbin and myself were in Rome High together. And we would walk 4 miles to school.
Jack and Harbin were our brothers.
Jack was just older, Harbin was just older than I was.
What year was that?
Well, that's in the 19.
She was born in 1912.
I was born 1912.
So when did you get your first car?
Oh, heavens, after I married. And that I married in 1933.
I'd get married to have to quit working in the field every day.
Well, we'd quit working in the field before I married. But this was when my dad lived, and we had all the family there. And of course, after Gertrude and Ernest they all married. And others, and then I married in 33. Bessie married in 33. And so you go on down the line, and all the younger ones had to come up to their age. So my dad died in 1932, at the age of 54, a young man.
Mm-hmm.
And left my mother with 13 children.
He had a heart attack, didn't he?
Blood clot.
Blood.
So, but my mother never did complain.
Your mother never did what?
Complain.
Oh, okay.
Or a bitch, as some people call it.
Nag,
Yeah.
nag.
Nag, or what you want to call it.
Yeah.
She never did, but we all respected. Respect is a marvelous thing to have, and you don't have much respect in this world today. But back then, you were taught to respect your elders. That's what my father and mother taught us. We always looked up to them. Anybody that's older than I was at that age, I admired. I looked up to them. Company come in. I remember as a little girl, and we had company on Sunday. We may have, I can't hardly say how many that come home with us from church. And our table was about 20 feet long. And we would have 3 changes of food that table for one Sunday.
From all the people.
People. And they came out, Estelle played the piano. And she could make that piano talk. And people would come and they'd sing and all of that. And in the summer months, and when the harvest was in, my dad would bring watermelons and cantaloupes to the front yard in 2-horse wagon and stack them up maybe 4 feet around the trees out there. We had a beautiful circular drive and trees outlined it. And he would put all of these, tomatoes and veggies and everything. We had surplus of everything. And he would bring it out for the weekend. And on Sunday, people would come, doctors and lawyers and things that knew him. And he'd load their cars. We were givers, and I'm a giver. I'm a giver myself. But we were taught that, to share. And we did. But it's a wonderful life, but it's a hard life.
So you never, as long as you were in school, every day you went to school,
Yeah,
you walked
walked.
all the way through graduation, high school.
High school, Rome High. I walked to Rome High. And you know,
Everybody did.
yeah, but it
Yeah.
was that was the life back then. And
That's the
Rome
way it
High,
was.
you know, is way up on the hill. Now
Yeah.
that's pretty hard to climb some days, but we did.
What year did you graduate?
31. I married in 33. And my dad died in 32. So the 30s, you see, my life is from the 12 to 30s. My single life. So, and I'm just one of the 16. Now, Nona and Cecilia and Jack and Henry and Paul, I call, those four was, I just felt like kids. They were so young, and they were young.
And Nona and Cecilia are still living.
Yeah, Nona and Cecilia. Nona is 93, and Cecilia is 85. So they're still living. There's 3 of us are left out of 16.